We're going to spend a couple of days on section 5.8, factoring pattern for x squared plus bx plus c when c is negative. And this is day 1, page 218, 4 through 26 will be the assignment. Let's look first at the example problems for the section. Now, just like in 5.7, your primary focus is going to be your last term. And your goals are going to be the middle term. Now on this one, you're going to look at sums or differences here. So we're going to go ahead and do the exact same pattern that we did before, where you factor the last term into its factor pairs. So 20, you could have 1 and 20, you could have 2 and 10, and you could have 4 and 5. Now let me run the sums and differences chart again. I'm just going to do sums with plus and the differences is minus. If you add these together, you would have 21, 12, or 9. And for differences, you would have 19, 8, and 1. Now checking with our goal that we have highlighted in green, the goal is 1. Don't worry about the negative. All of these can be positive or negative. So with this being 1, you know that the factor pair that you want to use is 4 and 5. Now the way you enter that as your answer and the way you determine your signs is like this. Put your parentheses in. Your first term, your x squared, is still x and x. And then go ahead and enter 4 and 5 first. Now remember, you want a combination of your middle terms and your outer terms. And in the end, you want a negative 1 as your goal. So if you have a 4x and a 5x, here's how you determine which should be positive, which should be negative. If you want 5x to be negative and a 4x to be positive to get that end goal of a negative 1, then this will be the negative sign, since that's a negative 5 times x, plus 4x. So you just insert the signs at the last step of what you're doing. Alright, so now let's look at that same process again. We'll factor 30 this time on example 2. And you have 1 times 30, you have 2 times 15, and 5 and 6. Now in the last section we were focused on the sums portion of this, but this one is going to be a focus on the differences portion of this. So the differences of these factors could be 29, which is our goal, so we've already found it, 13, or 1. Now since 29 is what we're looking for, we're going to use this line. Oops. I'm going to use this line. It's still not working. Oh well. Let's circle them. That's 1 and 30 right there. And our variable is a and a. And even though I marked through it, it's 1 and 30 are the factors that we've chosen because we had a 29 over here. You want it to be a positive 29 and a negative 30, so your signs have to be different. So if it's a positive 29, that's going to be a positive 30 minus 1. So your plus will go with the 30. The 1 will have a minus, so it's a minus 1. A plus 30 is your answer. And example 3. We've got that trailing variable. We have x's in front, and there are k's in the back. So put those in, and then focus on your numbers. So for 12, list your factors. And let's just focus on the differences here. You've got 11, 4, or 1. Now 4 is what you're going to be working with. Work that time. So our factors are going to be 2 and 6. And those are going to go in front of my k's. And if you want a... Oops, I still didn't do that right. Back up. Alright, put the wrong thing in. 2 and 6 in order to get 4. Since my 4 is negative, this needs to be a positive 2kx. And this needs to be a negative 6kx. So that's going to be my minus. That's going to be my plus. So my answer is x plus 2k, x minus 6k is my two binomials. Now for sample problems, the first one is y squared plus 5y minus 6. Your factors of 6 include 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. Now watch what happens with this. With sums, I get either 7 or 5. And with differences, I get either 5 or 1. Now my goal was to get 5, so that works, and that works. So let's try them both and see what happens. The first set, we'll go with this top set, 1 and 6. And it'll be y and y. Now we need to figure the signs out. We've got, for outer terms of 6y, and our inner terms are 1y. And if I want to get a positive 5y, it'll be plus 6 minus 1. So your signs will enter like this. So it's y minus 1, y plus 6. Now the other option, using 2 or 3, let's go ahead and put the y's in. And we're looking at this possibility now. You've got a 2y for your inner terms, and your outer terms are 3y. Now your middle term is positive, so both of these would need to be pluses. And to determine which one works, look at your last term. It's a negative 6. This one is a negative 1 times 6, which does give you that negative 6. This one would be a positive 2 times positive 3, which would give you a positive 6. So this solution is no good. So your answer would be y minus 1, y plus 6. For number 18, we're going to factor 44. And we're trying to get to 20 as our goal. So 1 and 44, 2 and 22, 4 and 11. If you're trying to get to 20 using a difference, then 22 minus 2 gets you there. So I'm just going to go ahead and box that in. When we put the answer in, remember you got that trailing s variable. So put that in first so you don't forget to put it in. Now 1 is a 22, and the other one is a 2. But my goal is a negative 20. So it needs to be negative 22 plus 2 to create my middle terms. And it never hurts to FOIL those back out. Go ahead and unfactor it to be sure that you get the original problem as your answer.